Now that I'm a Christian, one of the things that I've noticed, which has bothered me, is that you will have people who literally have a PhD in some form of biblical studies. They've been a pastor for 30, 20, 40, 50 years, right? You know, and they'll say things like, "Oh, I'm not qualified to speak on that. That's not my area of expertise." And what I would say to that is that while we all have different gifts and we all come from different places, so we do all have things that we are better at naturally or because of circumstance. This shouldn't be your excuse to be ignorant of important things in the Bible. For example, Wesley Huffington, when asked about the Nephilim giants situation, he said, yeah, by the way, his whole job is based on textual criticism, which is like the language of the Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic translations of the Bible. He literally said, "Oh, well, I don't think I'm qualified to speak on that theologically." And it's like, dude, your whole life is allegedly based on studying the Bible, and you can't even say that. It's really pathetic. And a lot of people do this. Like, um, I stopped preaching at this one church because basically the pastor's son there, who was in charge of organizing things, said that he didn't want me speaking out against Calvinism because there's a lot of debate about whether predestination is true or not. To translate that, what he means is that he doesn't know because he's ignorant, and he doesn't want to have to take a stance and possibly be wrong because he's a coward. All right? So I want everyone to become a Christian Swiss Army knife. And that's what Jesus wants us to do. If you lack in one area, ask for help. If you're good in one area, offer to help people who aren't. And above all, there's no excuse to be ignorant of God's word. It's plainly understood to all, to the point where we are without excuse. Paul even says that about creation itself, let alone the Bible. You know, if you really believe in God, you believe that you can understand God's word and anyone else can understand it. And the issue is whether they accept it into their heart because they want to sin or not. The choice is up to them, right? But the understanding is not up to them. You can understand the Bible, right? That's not the hard part. The hard part is accepting it and turning from sin. Okay, so I want to go into more detail about the gifts, but that's all I'm going to say for now. God bless. Be a Christian Swiss Army knife, but not like a dinky one, because those knives are kind of dinky, but they do have a lot of stuff. Okay, God bless.